92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The guy on the phone for a second date update today said in his email that he's, quote, a genuinely nice guy. So I believe him.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. His name
Glad
is
you do.
George, and George is a genuinely nice guy. If it's in writing, I know it's true.
And
So,
if it's-
George, congratulations on being such a nice dude.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no
he
problem.
does sound lovely. Yeah. You're likable already, George.
Thank you.
George, if you're such a genuinely nice guy, why do you have to do a second date update?
Well, that's I never thought I would have to, I guess, but I figure, we have the opportunity to figure it out.
Is it the nice guys always finish last type scenario?
That's kind of how it feels, to be honest, because I think it was a great date, and nothing has seemed to have come from it. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
So tell us a little bit about her. What's her name?
Her name's Tiffany. I found her on a dating website, which, first off, by the way, I'm not a guy who goes on dating websites. I was actually pretty apprehensive about the whole stuff.
Sure. That's what everybody always says. Doesn't everybody's profile on dating websites say, I'm new to this? It seems like that's the common
But
thread.
that's true for me. That is true.
And
Okay.
remember, you got to believe George is his word always.
Yeah, he's a nice
He's a
guy.
nice guy.
So anyway, I was scrolling through profiles, and a lot of them, they seem kind of disingenuous. But then when I found Tiffany's, I don't know, it was just like one of those feelings you get, And she was like outdoorsy, which I love that. But I think the biggest draw was like she had this beautiful blonde hair. I mean, it's like, oof. I mean, it's like silky and smooth.
All right. Now I think I know what kind of feelings you were getting. At first I was thinking it was like something in your heart, but now I know it's somewhere else.
No, hey, I'm just a guy that likes a girl with a lot of hair, and she's got flowing, beautiful hair.
I
Okay.
have never heard a man say that before.
So
No,
you're
I'm just saying, like, I looked at it, and it looked like, like a hair model of some sort of shampoo or something.
Guys,
so you're not a boob guy, you're not a butt guy, you're a hair guy.
I mean, hey, hygiene's very important to me.
dude, I do not want to sit next to him during a shampoo commercial on TV.
George loves me some hair, that's all.
Did you
Hey,
just
man.
really say that in third person?
No shame in what you like. So
Okay.
so you loved her hair. Tell us about your date when you guys actually went out.
Well, yeah, we've been talking for 2 months, and I was very apprehensive about, like, coming on too strong. I've read articles about, like, creepy guys taking girls out and stuff. So when we went on this first date, safety was really, like, that's the word. Like, I was priority. Like, I told her, I'm not going to take you to a picnic. I'm not going to take you to the park because of, like, wooded areas.
Okay, but George, you understand that most women, if they're going to get a message from a guy that lists all the creepy places they're not going to take you, it comes off as really creepy.
Yeah.
Research that.
No. It's just so she knows that I'm on the same board. Like,
Oh.
Did you literally say to her, "Don't worry, I won't take you near any wooded areas"?
yeah.
Oh, and she still went out with you.
Great.
Yes. That's
Okay.
not the problem, guys.
Are you sure?
So I took her to like like downtown where there's like a lot of people.
And a lot of
Okay,
lights, yeah. Was
A
it a
lot of
date?
light. It was during the day. It
Yeah,
was during the day.
daytime date.
Okay.
Good.
Did she seem to enjoy herself?
Yeah, we had a great time. And then I was like, do you want to call it, quits? And she's like, no, let's go get a drink. So I'm like, okay. That's step 2. We're getting there.
You took her.
Okay.
You took her to a place to get drinks and only bottles of water that were already closed that she could open herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everything she was getting directly from the bartender.
Okay.
All right. So she was safe with you,
Safest
George.
date ever.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted her to feel that way.
Okay.
But
Okay.
then, I'm talking to my coworkers at work, and I tell them, this next part, and they're like, that's too far.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so what I did was when we sat down, we were talking about, what we do to stay fit and everything. And then I, just told her, like, just so you know, I'm tested on everything.
Whoa.
And,
Wait, slow down.
Whoa.
You went tested on what?
all like, I'm up to date with shots and vaccinations, and,
Yeah.
I'm clean STD-wise.
So you just told her that, or were you having a conversation where that worked?
Like, we were talking about, like, working out and stuff,
Oh.
like staying fit.
So you went,
I think it's pretty relevant.
you made the leap from fitness to STD?
Yeah, because it's all, like, health.
Okay.
And how did she react when you told her that?
Well, first off, I think she was like a little skeptical to me, so I was like, oh, she doesn't believe me. So I was like, no. I had it in my bag. I didn't plan it, but I did have my results because I had just done it like a week ago in my bag.
Okay.
So you're like,
You don't date a lot.
Whoa.
Do you date a lot, George?
I mean, where do you find women? You know what I mean? So I'm trying.
So that's
Online.
it. No.
But I'm just asking the question because to bring your... Well, first of all, it sounds like you got an STD test leading up to the date.
Yeah, leading up to the date, but it wasn't because I was going to have a date.
Okay,
You know,
okay. I was thinking you did it specifically because you were going out with a woman and you wanted
Well,
to
I
get
figured
tested.
eventually I would have a date.
Okay.
Okay.
So the thing is, it's like sometimes, I'm told that can happen pretty quickly. You go one into the next, and I don't want to ruin the mood.
Right. You just
know.
you want to be prepared in case dinner or drinks leads to something else.
Yeah, and I want her to feel safe.
Okay.
Did she feel safe?
Well, the thing was, after I told her, she said that she had to get going for a tennis lesson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She had one of those random tennis lessons pop up in the middle of the day.
Either that, or she was still on my train of thought about being health conscious and stuff, and she
No.
remembered, and it just popped into her head.
No.
oh, no.
So what happened before she split for her tennis lesson? How'd you guys end things?
Well, we shook hands like a gentleman would do, and she left pretty quick after that, and I haven't heard from her, and her account is still active, so I think she's getting my messages. I don't know.
Oh.
She is.
How many
George.
messages have you tried to send her?
I mean, I don't know, I guess like 4 at this point.
Okay, George.
All right. Well, we'll play a song. We'll come back, and we'll call her and get your second date update, okay?
That'd be great. Thank you, guys.
Hang on, man. Be safe.
Always, man. Always safe over here. George.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Sometimes the more you say something, the more skeptical people will be of you. Like, for example, if I go to a crowded department store this weekend, strip down all my clothes, raise my hand and yell, I am not a pervert! Not a pervert! You know what? Those people should believe me. You know why? Because I said it and I
No.
said it loudly.
I don't think that's how it works.
And George, who's on the phone with us right now for a second date update, said over and over again to his date that he is not a dangerous man.
Yeah.
So she should believe him. He told her before they went out, don't worry, I'm not taking you to any wooded areas.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Not bringing my duct tape with me or
He
anything.
also brought along his medical history to show her that he was STD free on a first date.
Which she didn't ask for it. Let's remember that.
And of course, he said that he's a genuinely nice guy. George, I think that your downfall was you tried to convince her a little too hard of what a good dude you are.
Hey, I did all the right moves. I will admit maybe didn't need to bring up the medical history on the first date, but it's still good news.
Yeah, I mean,
It
it is
is,
good
yeah.
news. Actually, that's a very good point.
Congrats, by the way.
It might be a little strange to show her that, but yeah, it's good news as long as you were STD free.
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah.
have to have a chlamydia talk right after you showed it to her. So, bonus.
Right. I'm living with nothing,
All right, well, I'm going to dial her phone number right now and find out why she's not calling you back, okay?
Great.
Here we go.
Hello,
Hi, is Tiffany there?
this is Tiffany.
Hey, Tiffany, how are you?
Who's this?
Oh, my name is Jubal.
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
No, probably not. My name is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a radio show.
Okay. Are you selling something?
No, I'm not selling anything. I actually want to call you because one of our listeners asked me if I could get a hold of you. His name is George.
Uh-huh.
And George emailed us and said that he went out on a date with you.
Right.
Right. And we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. But George really liked you a lot, and he would love to see if he could go out with you again, but he's wondering if he did something wrong.
Well, listen, I have gone on some dates in my life. I have never met someone like George. That's a good way to say it.
Okay.
Did he come?
That's polite.
Did he come off like a serial killer, kind of?
the nicest one ever.
The nicest serial killer ever.
They
Okay.
always are.
Hey, at least he was nice, right?
It was interesting, to say the least.
Oh my gosh.
There's like a seed of potential in there that needs some nurturing.
So George has a seed of potential.
Yes.
Okay.
He is incredibly selfless, very sweet, overly concerned with my safety.
And he's STD free. He told us that.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, I learned that on the date.
Yeah.
So
He told us about that. And he admitted that he thinks that could have been the reason that you're not calling him
Could
back.
have been.
and there's that little seed. He kind of knows, but he doesn't, you know?
Can you explain the date in your words? We heard from him a little bit about your date, but I'm just curious to hear your side of the story.
Well, you know, initially it was like very, polite, and here, let me get your chair. And, you know, you guys, I sneezed during the date, and kindly he said, bless you, and then he went to go blow my nose.
What?
He went to go blow my nose. And then I was like, oh my God, do I have like a booger hanging out of my nose? How embarrassing. And he was like dabbing my nose, and he's like, oh, good. I just didn't want any germs to spread because I don't like germs and I don't want them to get on you. So it was this very awkward thing at the beginning. And then we leave the restaurant, we're walking, and, you know, he was walking on the sidewalk, and we're about to cross the street, and there was a car, and it was nowhere near me, and he starts yelling at the car, be careful, you're going to hit my date, almost like announcing, like, we're going to cross the street, everybody stop.
How embarrassing.
Oh,
No. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, it can't get worse. Okay, it can't get worse. And it kept getting worse. And then I just wanted out. So at one point, we're standing, you know, waiting to cross another street. And he realizes that I'm standing, like, on a grate. And he starts lecturing me. He goes, do you know how many people die every year standing on a grate by falling through? And also, slightly, I'm like, oh, my God, how many?
Really?
He's like, well, I don't know, but I bet the number's really high.
He hadn't even researched this. I was like, I guarantee people fall through those things all the time on city streets.
I never heard of that.
It was like the most paranoid mom ever on a date with you. And I was like, make it stop. I can't. I can't.
Did you ever address it with him? Like,
No. I'm not a charity corporation. I don't take care of people. I was on a date. I'm not here to fix people. I got my own stuff.
okay.
I don't think that I need to be the person to tell him all that. You know?
Okay, interesting. Hey, Tiffany, this is George.
Wow. Hey, George, hold on 1 second. I think I need to let Tiffany what's going on.
Whoa.
Tiffany, George is on the other line listening and wants to talk to you. He was supposed to wait for a second, but
George!
I'm just a little confused here because I've been listening to this whole thing where you thought you might die. If anything, the whole date was to make you feel like you would live, you know, for a long time. That was my point.
the point of dating me is to make sure you know you can live for a long time.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's the nicest serial killer comment. I mean, it's being, yeah, well, you got the nice part right, okay? But the serial killer stuff and that car was reckless. Okay.
Okay.
He had no
George,
business
wait.
being that
What
close to
you didn't hear, listen, yes, you heard a lot of stuff I said. What you didn't hear is that there is a seed somewhere
I did hear
inside.
that. A seed of
Work
potential.
on it.
You called me selfless, sweet, kind of cute. Huh? Yeah.
You picked it
He
up.
was paying attention.
You bet your sweet butt I was paying attention. I wrote everything down.
You're actually taking notes?
Ah,
Yes. This is important to me. Tiffany, I've been writing everything down, pros and cons. And let me tell you something. The pros are winning right now. With selfless, sweet, kind of cute, interesting, nice. Then the serial killer part's in the con.
George. Oh, my gosh. George, you are
People die
special.
on the great. I'm just...
You are
Okay.
really sweet. You really mean well, and that's really good about you. But maybe you just try too hard, and then you lose sight of who you are because you're trying to be this super dating hero that doesn't exist. and then you end up becoming nothing but scary things.
Well, I just want you to feel comfortable, and I guess I did it too much.
Yeah.
I did it too much.
Mm-hmm.
George, you're coming off as an overbearing mother who nags her child, and that's not sexy.
Yeah.
Well, to me, safety is the sexiest thing in a person, I think. All right?
You know, George,
Yes?
you know what? If that is what you in your heart believe and want, then you need to find yourself some girl who's looking for that. There's a girl out there somewhere looking for the Brad Pitt of safety, and you're her guy. And you guys are going to rock. You're going to be awesome.
Where do you think I could find her?
I do not know.
Oh, George.
Tiffany,
Oh,
would
my
you
God.
like to go out on a second date with George? We'll pay for it. It doesn't have to be a date. You can just get together and maybe help him find a girl that's into safety.
Come
I'm
on.
down.
Come on, Tiffany. I mean, I know you don't want a charity case, but he needs help, man.
He's likable at least.
Listen, baby steps. I will let him email me for dating advice, and we could start there.
I can get your personal email?
My work email.
There you go, George.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't get a second date out of the whole thing, but at
We're
least
playing a long play here.
long play.
Yeah, long
okay.
play. Okay.
Well, wait. George, let me be clear. This is not a long play on a second date. This is dating advice, a dating coach. I'm going to help
No,
you.
I get you. So we'll go on a second date.
No.
Pressure is on.
Oh.
George, I'm telling you right now, if you ask me out on a date, the answer is no. But if you need advice, I'm here for you.
No, totally. I'm just saying, like, if we were to, like, do a mock date, you know?
He's trying everything. He's trying. Yeah, let's go out and role play sometime and see how it works. George,
I'm just saying it could be nice, you know, in the moment.
No.
George,
Smoother than I expected.
George, I don't think you're going to get a second date out of this, but you did strike up a friendship, it sounds like, with Tiffany, and maybe she can help you in the dating world.
Pushing it too.
Okay.
Okay.
You've made contact with Tiffany, and she's agreed to help you out.
Thank you, Jubal. I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome.
Oh, my gosh.
This is great.
All right.
Beginning of a great rate, friendship. Sorry.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 that says, that guy indeed was the Brad Pitt of safety. We're talking about today's second date update. If you missed it, George wanted to call a girl named Tiffany who wasn't calling him back after their date. We got her on the phone, and the reason she didn't want to go out with him again, he was obsessed with her being safe.
Oh, man.
And obviously not very good at dating at all. One point, he actually dabbed her nose because she sneezed. And he wanted to make sure that she wasn't getting any germs on her so she wouldn't get sick. Yeah. And then reminded her when she was standing on a street corner on top of a grate. You know how many people die standing on top of those things? You shouldn't stand on top of that.
I don't think a lot, though.
It was just constantly obsessed with safety. So she said she didn't want to go out with him again. But
Well, it's like
she did offer to be his dating coach at the end.
And he still didn't quite get that.
No, he didn't understand.
You know, but I give him props for keeping trying. Like,
Yeah.
persistence is key.
Yep. So hopefully he does well with her advice now. He's gotten approval to email her on her work email and ask dating questions from time to time. So I consider that a successful second date update. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show and we will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5.